we will talk about the global population and mobility. So, definition of term: global city central sites for advanced services and facilities and telecommunication, which are necessary for the execution and the management of global economic activities. In those sites, corporate headquarters tend to center, particularly companies that are operated them in more than one country. So, the definition of term the term of global cities is refers to the major urban centers that serve hub for advanced services and telecommunication is mo siya itong ginagamit nga or mo siya communication of distance through electrical signal of or electromagnetic waves. Also, for facilitating essential for managing and executing global economic activities. So, these cities often host by headquarters of multinational corporation which require a central location sa kanang mga overseas their operation across multiple countries. And now let's proceed to introduction. The global cities is the major nodes and the interconnected system of information and money, and the wealth that they capture is intimately related to the specialized businesses that facilitate those flows. So, the global cities muna siya ang that are hubs that globalized world which is serving as a crucial system that manage the flows of information such as the capital and resources to across the borders and their economic, social influence system from their ability to host specialized businesses such as mga financial institution, consulting firms, and also medical conglomerates. Consulting medical is mo sila ang kaning mga company nga nag-owns of mga kadaghang mga companies and mga tech companies which nag-play sila of role in facilitating those flows. These cities like mga New York, London, Tokyo, and also mga wealth of global cities is mga sila itong mga intricately linked to their role in this system by fostering innovation, mga investment, and high value services. They act as a magnet for capital and talent. This interconnectivity for not only themselves but also sa mga impact broader global networks. So next is global as a spatial phenomenon. Globalization happens in physical spaces where investment and economic opportunities and human capital move to city. Globalization is spatial such as based on place. Globalization acts on cities and vice versa, like such as mga Paris, home of the Eiffel Tower, Eiffel Tower service and as magnet of tourism. New York City, home of stock market na sila. So, global cities kaya katong mga such as Paris, New York, London, Tokyo, like I said earlier nga katong muna sila katong central of to globalization because they house key infrastructure that facilitate global interaction. For instance, like sa tong mga like sa Paris nga is attract to international tourism due to landmark like the Eiffel Tower, di ba mga ginagabisitahan sa mga muna sila ang katong muna siya ang symbolizing cultural and economic exchange. Meanwhile ang New York City is muna siya ang financial district and stock market make it a vital player in international trade and finance. These cities is mostly act as platform for global economic activities including foreign investment and transnational cooperation. Next is general characteristic of global cities. International first name, familiarity, Paris, London. We all know nga global cities are instantly recognizable by their names. Cities like Paris, London, and Tokyo is a hub worldwide reputation symbolizing historical importance, cultural prestige, and economic power. By their transcend border, it's making them na dali siya ma identify without need for any country context. So next is active influence and participation in international events and world affairs. So so these cities often serve as the host of major global organization and diplomatic events. Example, New York is home to the United Nations headquarters, emphasizing its central role in global diplomacy. Same sa Geneva houses numerous international organizations like a World Health Organization. Next is a fairly large population. So global cities are generally highly populous, often ranking among the largest urban areas in their respective countries. Their large population contribute to diverse labor markets, consumer bases, and cultural vibrancy. vibrancy. This population density is often coupled with a high level of international migration, making them hubs for global talent and innovation. Next is a major international airport, London Heathrow Airport, that serves as an established hub for several international airlines. So global cities are key nodes and international air travel, broadcasting a world-class air force that serve as a hub for numerous airlines. Like sa Tokyo Narita is muna siya internal airport that connect Asia to other continents. These airports are critical for the movement of people and goods, enhancing the city's global accessibility. Presence of an advanced transportation system that includes several freeways and or a large mass network offering multiple modes of transportation. So, advanced transportation is infrastructure. Global cities are known for efficient and extensive transportation system is nadira ang network of freeways and expressway that facilitate vehicular travel. Advanced public transit system such as subways, buses, and high-speed trains. Next is the presence of international financial institutions, law firms, and stock exchange. So presence of international financial institutions and economic powerhouses. Global cities are economic giants, often hosting the headquarters or major branches of international financial institutions, law affairs, and stock exchange. And now we will talk about the City Index. City Index is consists the indicators of parameters used to determine and measure the categories of global cities and to what extent they global cities. Global City Index is used criteria across five dimensions. So nasa 5 dimensions, which are the business activities, is muna siyang presence of headquarters, service firms, number of international conferences, value of goods through force and airports. Number 2 is human capital, Nadre ang size of foreign-born population, size of universities, number of international schools, international population. Number 3 is information exchange. Nadre ang accessibility of major TV news, number of international new various bureaus. So, ang pag-pronounce. Sorry. So, international news. Number 3 is exchange, accessibility of major news, number of international news. Number 4 is cultural experience, ang number of sporting events, museum, performing arts events. Number 5 is political engagement, ang number of embassies, consulate, and international. And now, let's proceed to Global Power Index, City Index. Global Power City Index evaluates the rank of the major cities of the world according to their magnetism and their comprehensive power to attract people, capital, and enterprise around the world. In 2011, a report called the Global Power City Index 2011 considered several function areas, which the economy refers to the market, attractive economic vitality, business environment, regulation, and risks. Number 2 is the research and develop. Siyang refers to research background, readiness for accepting and supporting research and research achievement. Well, number 3 is cultural interaction. Siyang refers to trend setting potential, accommodation, environment, and dining and shopping, and volume of interaction. Number 4 is livability, refers to working environment, cost of living, security, and safety, and life support function. Number 5 is environment. Siyang refers to ecology, population, and natural environment. Number 6 is accessibility. Siyang refers to international transport, infrastructure, and inner city transportation infrastructure. And now, Dunan will continue the report.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Chriselle L. Dunan, and I will be talking about the other side of global cities. Global cities, despite the degree and high-notch international ranking, are not perfect cities at all. Los Angeles is a global city consisting of urban sprawl and massive freeways, so are compelled to purchase cars and gas. Mumbai, Manila, and Bangkok are considered global cities as well yet. So global cities, so the other side of global city is a global, so this is a global city is a city that has significant influence on the global economic, culture, and political landscape. These cities are typically centers of international finance, business, and trade, and they often serves as hubs of transportation and communication networks. So next is the global demography. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand the concept of demography and its effect on global population. Second is understand the Matosian theory and its criticism. Lastly is analyze the demographic transition theory and its criticism. So demographic transition, it refers to the transition from high birth and death rates to low birth and death rates as a country develops from a pre-industrial to an industrialized economic system. So demography, this is the study of the statistics such as birth, death, income, or an incidence of disease, which illustrate the changing structure for the human population. The composition of a particular human population, Europe demography is changing. Europe demography is changing. The importance of demography data, it can help provide a basis of understanding communities as they are now, where they've been and where they headed. It can be powerful tool for tracking change over time and for uncovering the needs of strengths of a community to guide planning policy development of decision making. So next is the Malthusian theory. Thomas Malthus, 1766 to 1834, was the first person to draw whispered attention to the component of natural increase, birth and death, fertility and formality. Malthus formulated an essay titled Essay on the Principle of Population, initially published in 1789, wherein he postulated that population tended to grow geometrically while the means of the subsistence grow only the artically. Figure 2, Thomas Malthus also argued that the difference between geometric and arithmetic growth create a tension between the growth of population and that of means of subsistence. This gap could not persist indefinitely. The Malthus theory. The Malthus theory is a population explosion is a rapid increase in the number of individuals in a population, which can occur in any species, but is most often used to describe the human population. And also, it can be caused by combination of increased survival and exponential population growth. It can occur when the birth is much higher than the death rate. Example of this is a population explosion can occur in a human population such as after World War II, or in animal populations such as bats or doves. Next is population explosion. Contrary to what ako na lang i-direct po ang explanation. Population explosion, it refers to the rapid increase in the population of an area among human being. Furthermore, it is a situation where the company is not capable of coping with the increased demand of its population. For example, farmer are reporting population explosion of bats, which is devastating their fruit crops. And lastly in my report is the demographic transition. The demographic transition is a theory and phenomenon that describe a population shift from high birth and death rates to low birth and death rates. This transition typically occurs as societies become more economically developed, educated, and technologically advanced. So these are the stage 1 of demographic transition. Stage 1 is pre-industrial society. High and unstable birth death rates, population growth rates, low importance of children, low life and expectancy. Reason of the change. So here are the reason of the changes in birth rate. Number 1 is children are needed for farming. Second is they die at an early age due to illness. Third is no family planning and conception or giving birth is encouraged by religion and society. And these are the reason for the changing in death rate. First is disease, number 2 is famine ba ni? And lastly is poor medical knowledge.
Good morning everyone. Good morning ma'am. That is my report. Early industrial society. High birth falling death rate. High population growth ration for the changes birth rate. Number 1. Children are needed for farming. Number 2. They die at the early age due to illness. Number 3. No family planning and conception. Giving birth in the encouraged by religion and society. Reason for the changes in death rate. Improvement in medical care, water supply and sanitation. Fewer children die. Number 3. Late industrial society. Low death rate, falling birth date, high population growth ration for the changes in birth rate. Number 1. Improve medical care and diet. Fewer children are needed for work. And reason for the changes in the death rate. Number 1. Improvement in the medical care, water supply and sanitation. Fewer children die. Number 4. Post-industrial society. Low birth and death rate, low population growth, reason for the changes in birth rate. Number 1. Family planning, good health, later marriage, improving status of women, and the reason for the changes in death rate. Number 1. Good health care, reliable food supply, and also people are living much longer. And they communicate, work with a peer, choose a country except Philippines and study the stage where the country you chose in currently place, assess its birth rate, death rate, and population growth. Provide the possible reason why it is located. And criticism of the demographic transition theory. The demographic transition theory is the only based on Western societies, Europe, America, Japan. It is not inevitable that there will be a fall in fertility rates in these developed countries in the length of time that the country will traverse in the stage of if they go is the unpredictable times have changed the developed world went through demographic transition. And last, fertility transition theory. This theory states that fertility is declining in the least developed countries at a rate which exceeds the rate of the decline that was experienced in developed countries. It seems to be related directly to the extent to which modern contraceptives are employed in modern times. Information about contraceptives is widespread due to mass media. And that will be all. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.